Grey Wolf here at the Native Spirit Lodge. Thank you very much for looking at our video. We're always adding things to our little impressive line here. These we just got in. Of course, they do spin too to make them even more dramatic. Amethyst points, spectacular one. And like this too, more over here. Big piece of tourmaline, because a lot of people believe that tourmaline keeps away those unwanted spirits. A lot of people put this at the beginning of their entrance of their house or their door or their business to do that. And we of course have our little crystals that people take. Leave one with the goddess, keep one themselves too. More of our specimen pieces. We have some really good ones. And this is also a recent addition that we have too. Oh, love it. Amethyst. Absolutely spectacular. Nice, big, thick points. That's what people love. Amethyst, of course, comes from the word amethustris. I believe that's how you pronunciate it. And it means not drunken. More wonderful crystals again. Very clear, spectacular. Very hard to get that quality. And of course, we mark every single one as to whether they're a channeling crystal, a generator, if they're an Isis crystal. And then we have information guides that we give out on them too. Here's one more absolute. This one's polished on the top too. Absolutely spectacular, of course, only at this Native Spirit Lodge. We try our best to get the AAA quality that we can, because most of our customers want something that's really special. We got in another big piece of smoky quartz. We have more next door, of course. This one has a spectacular face on it too. It has 3 windows, and it also has a very beautiful channeling face on it too. This is called a feather. And actually what it is, it's a great big amethyst point that has been cut right down the front. Spectacular. People use it as a specimen piece. And of course, we do have our goddess too, which everybody loves to see. And in our vault for the goddess, we keep our intention crystals, which we leave in here overnight. And the reason why is because they're supposed to cleanse and purify the crystals. We have some here that we keep in here where people absolutely love them. These are crystals that people have put their intentions into, leaving one with the goddess and also leaving one that they can take too. But I want to talk a little bit about the intention crystals. I happen to carry one myself. And the reason why, I'll tell you a little bit later. It's kind of a long story why I carry it. But the reason we started to carry these was because that what happened was a lot of ladies were coming in and they would take the crystals that they would carry and they'd carry them in their bra, or they'd carry them on their person. And what happened was essentially they were sharp. And sometimes they would cut off the point. Some people said that took away the spirit of the crystal. And we had these made specifically for us, palm size, that you can hold in your palm, or that you can carry, or that you can have close to you. Very heavily influenced by Dr. David Dwyer. I remember reading the story of his life. He was a person that commented and did specials on intention, and I think that it was something that kind of influenced me towards the intention crystal. Now, I did want to say something about the intention crystals. People use this to get over stress, anxiety, frustration, sickness. But what we do caution people all the time too is, I went recently to my doctor for my yearly examination. And I asked him, because we had so many people coming in our store asking for crystals or stones or something that would take away sickness or disease or getting over something. And I said to him, what should I do? Should I tell these people to come see the doctor? And he says, no, please don't do that. And the reason why is because everybody seems to have anxiety or frustrations these days. And what they want is they want pills to satisfy this anxiety. And he says that's all they're doing, is they're loading up on pills. And I says, doctor, he's giving dope to cope. And he says, well, not exactly. Some do help people. But we always caution people. I wanted to tell you that back in the day, I had low blood sugar, which was ghastly. And the low blood sugar had very bad reaction on me. And I went from doctor to doctor to find out what the heck was going on, because I thought at one time I was having a heart attack. I thought that I was having palpitations. And finally I found a doctor, and the doctor told me the only thing wrong with me was I was eating too much bloomin' sugar. Sugar was the curse. And so finally, when I changed my diet, got over the sugar content that I was eating, everything became in harmony again. So I learned, there was a book that I read by Carlton Fredericks years ago, that essentially that people are allergic to certain foods, certain medications, allergic to sugar, allergic to other things, and they'll have bad reactions. So before you try to use an intention crystal to modify your relationship with anxiety or frustration or sickness or disease or getting relationships with other people, consult a professional person to make sure there's physically nothing wrong with you. And then, if you want to use the crystal to get over that anxiety or frustration or whatever the heck it is that's bothering you, you use it as a totem or a companion, like they say in the Native community. This is my companion. I carry it with me and it reminds me what I want to do. And then you take it the next step. If you're doing meditation, it's wonderful. You're sitting, you're meditating, everything's calm, everything's quiet, but it's like being in the eye of the hurricane. Eye of the hurricane is very calm, but you know what's on the outside of the eye of the hurricane? It's the maelstrom, and you have to deal with it. And in this life that we have, like it or not, when we're driving down the street and we get upset, we have to deal with other people that are driving a little bit crazy. We can react and we can say, I'm going to run them over and I'm going to get in a fight and we're going to pull aside of the road and we're going to punch each other out. Or you can go along and say, hey, look, you know, guy's a jerk. Or maybe not a jerk. Maybe it's a lady. Maybe something else. But the excuse that you make is the one that's going to pacify yourself and say, hey, I don't have to get upset because somebody else is upset. Come see us. We have a lot of intention crystals that we specifically had made just for us. These happen to be in a plastic container where they have never been touched by anybody else because we leave it with the goddess and it's supposed to cleanse and purify the crystal. A lot of people purify the crystal in the sunlight, in the moonlight, in the starlight. They take it to the beach. The only thing we suggest, please do not use salt because it will build up a little bit of a coating after a while, and it doesn't look good on the crystals. But however you want to purify it and cleanse it so that only your spirit is in it, please do it. And we do have ones that we have with the goddess so that it's nice, clean, and purified. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to say goodbye, goddess. I want to say one more thing too, and that is essentially that what happens a lot of times you need something like a mantra that you have to say. Because sometimes you just don't feel doing whatever you want yourself to do. You put your intention into a stone or a crystal or something that you say, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to make my life better. Sometimes, because I'm getting a little bit old and a little bit cranky, I wake up in the morning and son of a gun if I don't have a bad back and I can't get out of bed. So what I use as a mantra for myself is, I say to myself, I can do it, and sometimes that doesn't work very well, so I put a lot of feeling into it, and I say, I can do it, and then I go, ha! And you can do it too. With the help of the intention crystal, and with the help of yourself, because there's only one important universe here, and that's yours, the universe of self. Thanks for listening to me. I hope to see you again. Enjoy the day.